Hello, everyone, and welcome back to more Cinderella Phenomenon Evermore. We are back again in Chevalier's route since the last time we are just 2 chapters deep into starting his story. So we left off on what's a major event that happened? I have no idea, really. But I should start with a disclaimer right off the bat, being that I, in the span from then till now, have gotten sick. So there'll be times where I probably might mute myself to cough. I'm way better now, but I still got like an itchy throat. So sometimes it acts up, and that will cause me to cough. So I'll try to catch it and mute myself on time. But yeah, if I don't, I will try not to blow your ears out. But anyways, continue on. So the last time in chapter 2, we were still, the main focus was that we were trying to get Sinna to talk to us about what's going on with the crystallum versus the tenebrarum, because something's obviously off balance here, because it's causing us to experience all these negative emotions or negative energy from it, and it causes us to have nightmares. But Sinna is very insistent that nothing is wrong and that everything is fine and it's just all in our heads. So we're just like, okay. So Delora, I think at one point had suggested in talking with somebody else's, like other groups of Fae, to probably get answers from, but we were like, no, I think Sinna would be even more offended if we didn't try to go to him first, even though he refuses to talk to us about it. So there's that, and then there's just Chevalier's just working through his the whole process again of becoming the palace physician. We ran into the little boy that he helped when he was Rumple, when he was cursed with the fairy tale cursed. And the boy was just kind of like putting him on the spot, where he was just like, oh, I thought you're getting married. That's why you're no longer gonna be the town's doctor anymore. Like, is that why you're going into the palace? And it just kind of put us in a weird position where it's just like, yeah, we're together, but also it's just like, oh damn, like, this is like marriage. Marriage. So yeah, so we had to kind of like, just gently tell the little boy, just be like, yes, we love him very much and someday we will get married to him, but no, that is not the case, in which why he's leaving his clinic in the town. It's because he's becoming the palace physician, but it's okay, you can come visit the palace and visit him freely. So it's just like that. So Chevalier is obviously aware of our whole like Sinna not wanting to talk, so he organized a quote-unquote little date with us. Well, it started off as a date between us. He took us to this little cafe where they made cute little lily-shaped cookies, and we were like, oh my god, this is really cute. And like, he's just like, I'm taking you on a date. And then lo and behold, Sinna shows up, and I think he was bribed by cinnamon rolls by Chevalier to come to this meeting to finally talk with us about what's been happening on his end. And now he's gonna launch into a little story where he starts off by disclaiming that he assures us that everything is under control, and he's very adamant on doing things differently than when his cousin Parfait did it. So he was like, I got this shit sorted out, I'm doing it differently. And then that kind of like made us think like, hey, like he's trying to do things differently in terms of running and like, what's it called, like managing the crystals the same way we are, like, because our mother before was the one who was running how the crystal like operated, and she obviously operated on like having it just feeding negative energy. Like she wants all the negative energy, but we're like, no, there has to be a different way to keep it in control or keep it balanced without having to resort to making like having it so that we need to have negative energy around us for it to like be balanced. So yeah, I guess, okay, so here he is, he's going to launch into his little story, I guess, on the origins of the crystals and we'll get a better understanding of like, where they come from. So yeah, let's go on ahead. So once upon a time, in a kingdom far, far away, there were two crystals. Okay. Oh. There you go. One was the Crystallum Lucis, protected by the ruler of the fairies. Yes. The other was the Crystallum Tenebrarum, which was watched over by the high leader of the witches. For a time, the fairies and witches lived in harmony with the humans of the kingdoms. Oh, he stopped suddenly, cheeks flushed. Why? Hello? You're laughing at me. No, I'm not. What? I am not. Cinna just glares at me. Maybe we could skip this part. We've heard it before. Cinna sighs. Okay, yeah. Dolores tells this story all the time and no one laughs at her. I'm sorry. Dolores does tell this story a lot, doesn't she? Chevalier looks like he is trying not to laugh. Be nice. Then by all means, feel free to tell the story however you like, Sinna. I'm already intrigued. Don't patronize me. Sinna starts again at the beginning, describing a time when the fairies and witches got along. Then inevitably, Hans destroyed the balance with his fairy tales. Normally, this would be the part where the storyteller explains that the Tenebrarum bearer, my mother, went mad after the witch genocide. But Sinna surprises me by going off on a different tangent. When Hans realized what he'd started, he beseeched the Tenebrarum and Lucis bearer to meet with him. The Tenebrarum bearer wanted nothing to do with Hans. Her heart was already overfilled with hatred for the humans. The Lucis bearer attempted to meet with Hans on her own, but the bard was killed by a witch before their meeting. I stare. Oh, how did I not know this? With Hans gone, the conflict spiraled out of control. The Lucis bearer, Faye, he stopped suddenly, his gaze forlorn. Faye, Parfait? Oh. Faye, what a lovely name, it suits her. Sinna clears his throat. Rather than put an end to the Tenebrarum bearers' atrocities, Faye clung to her hope and optimism. She did not try to stop the tragedy until much later. You know how the Tenebrarum works, Princess Hannah. So you must know why Faye was the way she was. The Tenebrarum gathers and stores negative emotions. It then sends me those emotions to diffuse. This keeps the balance in check. It goes to reason that the Lucis would gather positive emotions. Yeah. It used to irritate me that Parfait was always so positive. I thought it was a part of her personality, but... You were saying that Parfait was the way that she was because she absorbed positive emotions from the Lucis? Yes and no. Faye was an optimist at heart. The Lucis just magnified those feelings. Okay. It blotted out other necessary emotions, like anxiety, caution, all of the things contained within the Tenebrarum. My cousin lost herself to hope and refused to see reality. It wasn't until the Tenebrarum bearer killed the king and started wreaking havoc that Faye finally took a stand. Even then, she only took action when another witch came to her with a plan to defeat Hildyr. That would be Walt. He's told me the story of his apprenticeship before. Cinna pops a lily-shaped biscuit into his mouth and looks at us both expectantly. So, do you see? You said before you didn't want to make the same mistakes as Lady Parfait. Yeah, which means you've been closing yourself off to the Lucis because you don't want it to impact your judgment. You make it sound like I'm not doing my job. Oh, I never said that, but is it possible that closing yourself off from the Crystallum has been doubling the intensity of the emotions in the Tenebrarum? I put my fingers to the temples of my head and grimace. I do not know how the Lucis works exactly, but I know that the balance between the two Crystallum impacts this kingdom and the magic in it. If the balance is not maintained, magic will eventually go haywire. I doubt it. You'd be able to see the ramifications if it was directly impacting the Tenebrarum. Well, with all due respect, Cinnamon, I think we already see those ramifications manifesting in the princess. She is the bearer after all, right? I was like, I'm having nightmares from it. He looks at me uncertain. Or am I misunderstanding? No. I'm not sure. I don't know what happens when the two are out of balance, but I cannot help but recall Parfait's fragile state. She suffered from an illness Chevalier could not cure. Parfait was frequently in pain. She said it was because of what happened to her during the war, but do you think the imbalance between the crystalline might have impacted her as well? I'm pretty sure, yeah. Chevalier stares at me wide-eyed. So it was not just the weight of the Lucis that burdened her, but the weight of the Tenebrarium as well? It's possible. Sinna raises an eyebrow. He still looks unconvinced. Sinna, as the bearer of the Tenebrarium, I am prone to nightmares. Sometimes the negativity causes my magic to flare or makes me impatient with people. I've accepted these are inconveniences that come with being the Tenebrarium bearer. Accepting the emotions that come with the Lucis are part of your responsibility. He's like, it's not the same thing, princess. Argue with him, agree with him. I say it's the same thing. It does. I think it cannot affect him emotionally, but he has to deal with it, no? The same way that we have to deal with it, because we're having nightmares from all the negativity, from all the negative emotions that are coming out from the Tenebrarium. I'm gonna argue with him. Cinnamon. I fail to see how it is not. The longer this conversation carries on, the harder it is to remain calm. The festering negativity of the Tenebrarium hardly makes it easier. Oh. Maybe I shouldn't, but like, with all due respect, Princess Hana, if you had any respect, you would stop talking and start listening. Yeah, both Sinna and Chevalier stopped to stare at me. That's true though. No one listens to me, not even in court. I must make a stand. What? I am sure Chevalier was thinking the same thing. You adults are all the same. You refuse to consider new perspectives. I am trying to understand you, Cinnamon. That's Sinna. Let's try assessing this from a different angle, shall we? Oh. Sinna turns away with a scowl. I force myself to take a deep breath. The last thing I want is to make Chevalier worry when he already has other problems to deal with. Maybe arguing wasn't the answer, but like, listen, Sinna. I come at my argument from a different angle. Rather than insisting, I ask Sinna to rethink his methods. Chevalier is quick to back me up, but he does so in a way that makes it seem as if he is seeing both sides of the argument. By the time we are done talking, Sinna looks defeated. Fine. I'll do what you ask, princess, but only on the condition that you let me do it my way. Yeah, sure. Tiny Lord, you're much too cynical for your age. If you keep this up, you'll have permanent wrinkles on your face before the year is up. Yes. You should smile more often. And you need to learn how to face reality, old man. Oh, Chevalier just laughs. Life is all about balance, as they say, and I already have a very dedicated princess here to help me master it. He smiles at me fondly. Years ago, when I first met Chevalier, he taught me the value of trust. I, in turn, lectured him on self-gratitude. I like to think we both have been good teachers to each other, even if Chevalier does still give a lot more than he receives. Sinna sighs. That's cute. See, that's what a relationship is all about, you guys. Is you learn from each other, you better yourselves off of each other. I'm not in the mood for your philosophizing. Thank you very much. Philosophizing, sorry. But I suppose you're in the mood for a cinnamon roll? Yes, we did promise him one. Oh, is the Lucis bearer embarrassed? One more word and I will shatter your glasses. Chevalier is completely unscathed by the threat. He is smirking when he orders the cinnamon roll for Sinna. Here you go. Relief washes over me as the date carries on. For the first time in a long while, things seem to be looking up. Okay. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have argued, but still. The days pass in quick succession over the next week. Remarkably, I am able to fall asleep and stay asleep. Oh, nice. I do not know what or if Sinna has done anything to the Lucis, but I am relieved for the change regardless, right? Beauty sleep. I am grateful. It has been 4 days now since our talk at the cafe, and I have some time on my hands after a meeting with Father and the counselors. Chevalier, who already knows about this, will be by in a few hours. Last I heard from him, he was busy setting up his new clinic space in the palace. His absence works to my advantage. I have some time on my hands to do something nice for him without him knowing. Aw. In the end, I decided to go with my first idea, the scarf. Chevalier has been in need of a scarf for a while. He is not the same without one. But the question remains, what kind of scarf do I get him? Let's make him one, even though we probably would suck at it, but it's the thought that counts, no? Yeah. I say we try to make him a scarf. I think he would appreciate it. It has been a long time since I sewed anything. When I was lonely, I used to sew puppet companions for myself, but I have never made clothing. I can still remember the scarf Bria made for Chevalier. Is there any way I could make one that looks even half as nice? Bria made a living as a seamstress, but me... I shake my head to clear it. I will make him a nice scarf. Yes, that's right, girl. That's the mindset to have. A maid passing through the hallway pauses to look at me. It occurs to me belatedly that I spoke aloud. If I must say the words for them to be true, then so be it. Manifest. Though it has been a year since I sewed anything for pleasure, I am easily able to locate my supplies. I set everything out on the table and start working. The longer I work, the easier it becomes to focus. Eventually, I completely lose track of time. Ah, and what is my lovely Hana doing? Oh, the minute I catch the glint of Chevalier's glasses, I grab the material off the desk and sit on it. Oop. Ho ho, keeping secrets, are we? I have no idea what you're talking about. Are you hiding another romance book? No. I will never forget the day Chevalier found me in here reading one of the romance books Emmeline lent me. Or rather, he will never let me forget it. I should bring you by another so we can read it together. The last time he read a romance out loud, I wanted to throw myself out the window. If you do that again, I will burn the book with magic. Even if it's Emmeline's? I'll get her a new one yet. Even if it's Emmeline's. Chevalier laughs as he leans closer, close enough for me to see the playful shimmer in his eyes. You never answered my question. It's nothing. Oh? He leans even closer until his lips are brushing my ear. If it's nothing, then you won't mind me sweeping you off your feet to see. No, I grip the chair when Chevalier sets a hand on my back. No. He's like, no, I'm stuck to this chair. You can't move me. I will not let this surprise be spoiled. Before he can lift me off the chair, I lean forward and kiss him hard. He freezes, but his surprise is only momentary. He kisses me back, his fingers trailing down my back and sending shivers down my spine. When we part, he steps away and holds up his hands in surrender. Fine, I admit defeat. Good, because you can never hope to best me. Chevalier laughs. No, I suppose not. He plops down on the bed with a sigh. It occurs to me that today was his first official day as the palace physician. How was your work? Good, I suppose. You suppose? Why, Chevalier shakes his head. There wasn't much to do besides organize my inventory and order medication. Most of the nobles and servants who came by were wealthy. And how were they? Chevalier's expression is carefully neutral. Why, was someone rude? As I said, they were all healthy. But how were they when you spoke to them? Yeah, or when they spoke to you, more like. I cannot help but recall the way the two ladies in town looked at him. Many people, nobles included, are unafraid to show their dislike of him. Oh god. Dying. But because Chevalier is Chevalier and dislikes speaking ill of anyone, he probably does not want to admit it. I really do wish he would talk to me. Hold off, press him for answer. I mean, you can. Like, there's no... Between us, you shouldn't have to hide how you really think. It's okay. I'm a hater. I can be a hater. This is a safe space. This is a safe space. Like... but at the same time, it's like Chevalier is the kind who's just like, just leave it. He's like, you know, like the path of least resistance sort of thing. So I don't know. I don't know if I should push him. I mean, I don't want to be forceful, but like I want to also let him know, be like, hey, you can talk to me if something bothers you. Okay, I'll hold off because I argued last time. I'll hold off. I trust Chevalier. I have faith that if things get too difficult, he will talk to me. You know, I will always be here to listen to your concerns. Yeah, exactly. Just as there are things I would rather do alone, there are things he too must want to figure out on his own. Being able to support him in that endeavor is enough. Thank you, Hana. Okay. As always, you are the brightest, most glorious ray of sunshine in my life. Thanks. And the best listener. Thank you. That is high praise coming from the actual best listener. He responds to the compliment with a soft kiss to my forehead. Oh. I will never tire of your compliments, my sweet princess. Thanks. He pauses, suddenly looking thoughtful. Do you mind if I ask you a question? Sure. Of course not. What do you propose I do about my more troublesome patients? I am surprised by the quiet determination in his eyes, like troublesome how. I don't want you to needlessly worry about me. I know you have a lot on your plate. No, I will help. When I do not say anything, Chevalier sighs and pulls off his glasses. He regards me silently with his violet eyes gaze somber. I notice he only takes off his glasses when it is just the two of us. He is much easier to read when he's not wearing them. Well, what have you done in the past with troubling patients? For once, Chevalier looks at a loss for words. While he is still distracted, I take the opportunity to quickly pull the uncompleted scarf out from beneath me and fold it up. Then, before Chevalier can question what it is, I tuck it into a drawer and turn back to him. How mysterious. What? Back on topic. Ignore me. Just ignore that. I clear my throat. Chev, do you think about what is good for you? Do you ever think about what is good for you? Yeah. I know the answer to that question too, but I enjoy the bewilderment on his face when I say it aloud. What a silly question, Hana. Of course I do. I eye him skeptically. I think maybe you should spoil yourself more often. Chevalier's look of shock perhaps emboldens me more than it should. Before he can object, I grab his glasses off the bed and settle them on the bridge of my nose. Oh, I would not be able to do that. You would not be able to do that with me because my vision is terrible. Absolutely terrible. I am practically blind without my glasses. If we put on my glasses, it's just a world of just hurt. That's what it is. Sorry, let me try that again. I tilt the glasses in the hopes that I can make them glint the same way Chevalier does. I think maybe you should spoil yourself more often, Chev. Chevalier's shock disappears, replaced by bemused glee. Oh, I don't think so at all. After all, I think I'm already the luckiest man in the world to be spoiled by you. Being spoiled by others and spoiling yourself are two different things, right? Oh, my princess, your words take on an even more sophisticated air with the glasses. Although... he laughs. I'm sorry, even though I'm sure you wear my glasses better than I do, I can't appreciate your beauty because I can't see you. He is me. He is literally... How bad is your eyesight? Girl, I'm surprised that you don't have a headache right now. How do you not have a headache? Miserable, exactly. That's my prescription. People ask me what my prescription, like my what's it called, the numbers on my prescription, like what the numbers, the scale is. I say miserable. I'm sitting right next to you. Not close enough, I'm afraid. Unless he's trolling me and he's just being like, come closer that I can kiss you. I sigh out, but in the end shift closer so that I can lean my head on his shoulder. Chevalier does not miss the opportunity to plant a kiss on my forehead. He smiles. I was right. Your eyes are scintillating behind those lenses. Are they sparkling? What? Are the glasses sparkling? Sparkling? You always somehow manage to make your glasses shine. You do the anime glasses thing, you know? I'm afraid that is my secret technique, princess. I thought you would say that. Thank you for trying to cheer me up, Hana. And for reminding me about something so important. I think the glasses do make you more convincing, by the way. I have no doubt they are the reason you are so silver-tongued. Chevalier looks horrified as I hand his glasses back. You make them sound like magic. It is not so strange to think someone might have charmed them. You don't think I was just born charming? I wonder. Chevalier looks surer of himself when he puts the glasses back on. You promise that if someone bothers you, you come to me, right? You'll come to me and I can take care of them for you, yes? All you have to do is just give me their social security number and I'll get the job done. Don't worry. I never keep secrets from you, Hana. I never have, and I never will. Unless they're meant to be surprises. Then that is a different thing entirely. Yeah. He gives me a pointed look, a mischievous smile curling his lips. I'm sure you understand the excitement of keeping a secret. I shrug as nonchalantly as I can manage. I will not rise to his bait, but he is not finding out about my scarf. Anyway, other than a few disagreeable patients, everything has been splendid. I am enjoying the work so far. Good to hear. So long as I can help someone, I'm satisfied. It may not be the kind of work he's used to, but I hope Chevalier's patients will treat him well. The more I think about it, the more I question the reason Chevalier moved his practice here to the palace in the first place. He said that he did it because the king personally offered him a job and he couldn't refuse, but... Chev, you didn't just move to the palace because of my father's proposition, did you? Oh no, I wanted a change of location. I get to be closer to you this way. Oh, but... Chevalier puts a finger to my lips. No buts, lovely princess. I moved my practice here because I wanted to. Do you know how long I thought about this? From what I remember, it was not very long at all. But Chevalier does not lie to me, so I will believe him. Okay, the tide of our conversation changes after that. Chevalier asks me about my day, and I am forced to make up a lie on the spot to avoid telling him the truth. We talk for a while after that until I am forced again to attend to my responsibilities. Okay. It is night. Oh, where are we going? After I finish all of my daily obligations, I head to the forest for my last meeting. Oh, Delora is waiting for me in the clearing with the usual smirk on her face. Oh, I can sense the buildup of her spell moments before she casts it. Oh. We're practicing our magic. Moments before her spell slams into me, I erect a small shield to block her magic. Ha! I sigh as her magic shatters my shield. It is nice to see you too, Delora, right? Not even a how are you? She always greets me like this. She says it keeps me on my toes. Nice weather we're having tonight, isn't it? She looks at me, curious. Where's Casanova? He didn't follow you out tonight? He tried, but I didn't let him get very far. In fact, I froze his feet to the ground to make sure he stayed in the palace. It was obvious he needed to rest. Delora just snorts. You two are perfect for each other. You're both stubborn as rocks. I dismiss the words with a wave of my hand and prepare myself for Dolores' next spell. Our training session begins as it always does, with Delora throwing spells at me and giving me only moments to counteract. We review shields, then basic offensive magic, then charms. We are nearly onto object summoning when it occurs to me to ask about Sinna. When he first arrived in Angiel, he watched these practices from the sidelines. But tonight, he is nowhere to be seen. How is Sinna? Are you actually worried for him? Or are you just worried because he's been so difficult lately? Both. Worry no more, Sinna's turned over a new leaf. Oh, okay. She pauses and gives a nearly imperceptible shrug. Well, half a leaf at least. Half? Why? He's a skeptic at heart, so it will take a bit of time. So it'll take a bit for him to open up completely. But what you must said must have left an impression on him. I guess in the end, it makes sense you could help him. You could help him best. The two of you are very similar, after all. She flashes a feline smile at me. I roll my eyes. I will not give her into her teasing. I know he can be difficult sometimes, but Sinna really is a good kid. I hope your talk with him could show you that. He said that he did not want to repeat Parfait's mistakes. I am glad his reasons were not selfish. He may act like a skeptical old man, but he's a kid at heart. He's definitely easier to deal with than a certain ice princess was. Hey now. She raises an eyebrow at me. Is it really necessary to keep bringing up the past? You speak as if you've had lots of experience with children, but you only compare Sinna and me. Oh, the smirk falls from Dolores' face abruptly. Didn't she used to have a kid? Yeah, I just realized that I never told you about her, huh? Yeah. Her. Delora crosses her arms against the cold. I am taken aback by how small she suddenly looks beneath the shadow of the canopies. Loria, my little girl. Yeah, yeah. You have a daughter. You have a daughter. Had a daughter. Had. I lost her during the war. Whatever words I had been, whatever words I had been about to say lodged in my throat. When I look at Delora again, she is frowning up at the starry sky. At times like this, when it is impossible to change what's happened in the past, there is only one thing I can say. I am sorry. Delora shakes her head. It wasn't your fault. You don't need to apologize. For a long time, the two of us stand there, looking at the stars, and then, hesitantly, I break the silence. What was she like? Delora smiles wistfully. She was a lot like you and Sinna. She was free-spirited to a fault, and always spoke her mind, and even though she had never admitted to being a soft heart, she would always jump to the defense of others. I used to tease her all the time, and she'd get embarrassed and snap at me. She was my greatest treasure. My mind whirls, supplying images of humans attacking Dolores' daughter. How could they have hurt a child? Dolores seems to read the question from my expression. She was killed during the war by Hilldire. It is as if the air is torn from my lungs. I suddenly feel cold, empty. I was unsympathetic to Hilldire. She believed that the only way to show me how much she was suffering as a Tenor bearer was to make me suffer. So she took away the person I loved most. Delora, You don't have to say you're sorry, Hannah. For a long time, I've been wondering if I should even tell you this story. I never wanted you to blame yourself, but now you know, after everything you've gone through, that you are not like Hilldire. Yeah. When Hilldire killed my daughter, I thought I'd never get a chance to have someone like her in my life. But then, you came along. Her smile mellows. I think if Loria had grown up, she would have been a lot like you, Hannah. Aww. And now I have the honor of watching over a taciturn fairy too. Lucky me, being able to watch over both the Tenor Baron and Lucis Bearer. She steps close enough to set a hand on my shoulder. I know you said that in your nightmares, your mother told you weren't good enough, but I know that's not true. I get to witness your magical strength every time we practice, and I know firsthand how dedicated you are. I cannot help but smile. Even though my heart is heavy with so many revelations, Dolores' words make the burden easier to bear. I have Chevalier and everyone at the Marchant to thank for that. Dolores grins at me. Well, of course, but you remember what Parfait used to say? Goodness is innate in everyone. She taps my chest. So really, you had it in you all along. She draws her hand away with a grin. So, do you feel better now? I should be asking you that. Dolores shakes her head. What's in the past is in the past. Honoring Loria's memory is all I can do for her now. Honoring her memory. I hope Sinna and I are able to do that for Parfait and Mother. Dolores backs away. No more getting sidetracked. Show me what you got, Princess. The lesson continues into the night. It is obvious, however, that Dolores and I have our minds on different things. I have no doubt she is thinking about Loria, and me. And me, I need to do my best to honor my own mother, and to keep those I love from suffering. And that includes Chevalier. Yeah. Anyone who dares talk mean about him. The Jack of all trades, chapter 4. Okay. So there we go. I mean, we learned about Dolores' family in one of the routes in the past, in the first game. But I forgot whose, but like I remember clearly that she did mention having a daughter. Ugh, this cough. Anyway, so with that chapter ending, we will stop here for the day, or for not for the day, but like for the episode, because I would like to always keep things, always just compact and sectioned off nice and neatly for you guys. So yeah, we will continue on into chapter 4 in the next episode, where we will I guess we'll see. Yeah, we'll see in terms of the progression in which Chevalier makes with his clinic here, his time here as the palace physician, and if we need to throw some hands on his behalf, I'm not afraid to do it. Just saying, but So, yep. we'll just leave it there then, and we'll see where the story will take us. So be sure to subscribe to my channel and to turn on the notification bell, because I will reiterate to you once again, as I always have, that I am on a semi-hiatus on the channel. So my uploads and my Let's Plays are a little bit, they're a little bit sporadic, only because, you know, I cannot gauge when I have free time to sit down and record for you and to upload and, you know, all that stuff. So yeah, even if you ask me when's the next time I'm going to upload anything, I can't give you a certain answer because I don't know myself. So be sure to subscribe and to turn on the notification bell to, you know, that's the surest way to know. Otherwise, I am still active on the channel, so any comments or, you know, that you leave on my video, I will see and I will get back to you as best I can. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me on this Let's Play, and I hope you're enjoying it so far. But for now, I will see you next time. Bye!